Hey guys, I'm gonna have to talk to you like this because I'm on airport standby right now. Can't really speak too loud either because there's other people around trying to rest. But basically, I have been on airport standby now for almost 2.5 hours, so I'm most of the way through. Not quite half, but almost. Still no call, fingers crossed. I start my week with airport standby, which is what I'm doing today, and then I've got home standby for the rest of the week. So we'll see how it goes. Don't really have any idea whether I will be called or not. It's very much, you just don't know, can't really tell. So I've had a look at flights I could be called for. They sent me for a PCR COVID test before my duty as well. I guess to rule that out too, to make sure I could do every flight possible. Luckily I'm negative, so that's good to know. But yeah, I'm just going to sit here for the next few hours. I'll keep you posted if anything happens. That's pretty much how entertaining airport standby can be. Pretty much not at all. So here's my little standby setup. I like to come over here because it's nice and quiet, peaceful. There are definitely some days where I want to be called from standby, but there are also days where I don't, and today is one of those days. The weather's nice, I don't really want to be stuck inside or travelling somewhere else when the weather's nice at home. I also want to save money, and going on a trip means that I spend money. Also, I've got a lot to do at home, like a lot, and I feel like I'm wasting time at the airport, just sat here doing nothing. But what I need to do, I can't do from here. So, fingers crossed, let's manifest that I don't get called. I've actually been prepared and remembered to bring lunch with me, but that banana doesn't look too good. It doesn't smell very nice either. A crisp Marmite sandwich is the one. Please don't judge me. So I am 4 hours into my standby now, so well over halfway. Still no call, still no roster update, but I'm really starting to get sleepy. I had to get up at 4 this morning, but I ended up waking up at 3 because I fell asleep so early, which is very unlike me. But I just kept nodding off in my little cubby hole and I had to go for a walk, so that's what I've done. I'm going to change location and hopefully finish the last 2 hours without getting a phone call, but I'll let you know. So I'm back in my car a couple of hours later and I finished my standby, no phone call, which is exactly the outcome I wanted. Always seems to be though that the outcome you want, it always ends up being the opposite, so I feel like I'm quite lucky today. And I'm quite lucky with the fact that a lot of the flights were cancelled, like a lot of the short haul flights I could have gotten, so because of that it was a higher chance that I wasn't going to be called, but here we are. So today is finished, today is done. What's happening for the rest of the week? So I am basically continuing my standby week. So I have 3 more days of standby, those being at home though, which is definitely the better way around, I think. I find airport standbys can be productive, but they really, really drag. They're only 6 hours long. Home standby is normally 8, sometimes can be 6. But 6 hours literally feels like about 12. I had to change locations 4 times just to try and stay awake. But I'm glad it's done now. But for tomorrow, I'm pretty much just going to throw my hair up, put some makeup on, put some comfies on. It's going to be nice and warm again tomorrow, and probably just sleep through most of my standby, which is what I normally do. I'll do what I need to do when I get home in a bit, but yeah, for the rest of my standbys, I normally just sleep, and I can pretty much try and sleep outside in the garden with the nice weather, which is an extra added perk for this week. So yeah, standbys, I think, very interesting to you guys, and I don't know why sometimes, because it is the most boring part of this job, I find. It's quite interesting from the outside, but from the inside and experiencing it, it's not fun. I'm really sorry about having to blur a lot of these clips as well. Obviously, you know the reason why. I know it's annoying, but hopefully here on out, there shouldn't be any more of that. I'm gonna head home because I cannot wait to take this hair out, take my uniform off, and get some nice summery clothes on because it is hot. So one nap later and I am finally home. I think I was home for no more than 30 minutes before I fell asleep, which tells you how tired I was. I was falling asleep when I was on standby and I knew that was a dangerous game. I know it's not so bad because I'm ready for an immediate report. My hair, makeup, everything's done, everything's in my bag, so I just got to grab and go. But knowing my luck, I'd probably leave something behind where I was sitting, like my iPad, my water bottle, something quite important, because of being woken up very suddenly by a phone call, which I didn't want. So I try not to sleep when I'm on airport standby. Home standby, I don't mind doing that as much. So I just went to go and get some petrol, and I have to say that is one of the downsides of a series of standby, especially when you have airport and a series of home, is having to get petrol even though you don't know if you're going to need it. With the current climate of petrol prices, home standby, airport standby can be very costly, and you end up losing more than you're gaining because you don't get paid on home standby and you get paid very little on airport. So it's one of the things you kind of have to face, really, and I want to fill up my car, so if I am called, I'm just prepared to just throw my bags in the car and go. Although, next to my local petrol station is a Mcdonald's. And you know when you're near a McDonald's and you just get that smell in the air, and you think, I could just do with some chips. So I did just that. I went to go get some chips. I do have some dinner at home, but everyone's out, so I'm just waiting for them to come back before we cook it. And I was thinking, oh, just some chips would just do me real good. And also a little milkshake. And I used to work at McDonald's. One thing I really enjoyed when I worked there and when we got the free food on our breaks was dipping nuggets and chips into a strawberry milkshake. And I have never lost that craving. I absolutely love it. It's very weird. Definitely milkshake over sauce. It depends on my mood, actually, that's a lie. Sometimes I like a bit of ketchup with my nuggets and chips, but most days I do love a strawberry milkshake with nuggets and chips. So if you haven't tried it, don't slate it until you do, trust me. But I also decided to pick up some of the halloumi fries while I was there too. Don't know how long they're going to be around for. I hope they're a rotational thing and not just a limited edition thing, because I will cry if they are. Tried them the first time the other week and oh my god, they are the best cheese side I think McDonald's have ever done. Big statement, but it's so true. Absolutely love them. So I want to get as many rounds of halloumi fries in as I can until they go. Although my milkshake has gone everywhere. She did ask me if I wanted to have it replaced, but I thought, you know what, you're so busy, don't really want to make any more work for you. And I was just sat there waiting for my food, and I was just watching the number of people that came in that had delivery orders that complained. And I think to myself, if I want a delivery, I mentally prepare myself that it's probably going to be crap. Is when I'm really craving McDonald's, that's when I do delivery, because you know it's going to be cold, you know items are probably going to be missed, you know the sauces are not going to be there, it's just a given. And then people then get this high expectation that they're going to have really piping hot, fresh food, everything they wanted in there. I know that's how it should be, but it's just not. And just to see the amount of people in there that are complaining about missing like a portion of fries or a cheeseburger, it's like, oh, come on, just call them and then claim it again when you next go through. Because you can do that, by the way. You can just call them up and say, I'm missing this. They'll note you down, and the next time you come through, you can just claim it. So yeah, I was just watching people, and it's like, it's the school holidays as well. It was so busy. Going to McDonald's at 7:30 on a school holiday day, you've just got to have the expectation that it's just going to be so slow. And I wanted these fries and halloumi fries very badly, so I was willing to wait. So standby number 2, day 2 has started. I don't know if I'm expecting to be called today. I've only ever been called from home standby twice in my flying career, and they were quite close together. So once was for a Seattle and the second was for an Amsterdam there and back. But they were quite like last minute duties where a lot of things went wrong previously and they needed to get new crew, that kind of thing. So home standby seems to be a very slightly less chance of being called. I'm only saying slightly is because if I say there's a massive chance that you won't be called, no, my luck, I will be called. So I'm trying not to jinx it. But again, like airport standby, it is so hard to say whether you will be called or not, because sometimes we ask each other, like other crew that we know well, have you been called? What's been the situation lately? And it's very different all the time. So I'm just going to wait it out at home, really. I live on a good run an hour and 15 minutes away, probably about an hour and 25 door to the very door of my report centre. So it is quite tight, I guess, if there's any traffic or if it's at a weird time of day, like if you're being called during rush hour and you have to make your way to work through rush hour, it's a little bit risky, but it's doable. So I stay at home. I just sit with my hair and makeup done, uniform out ready, bags in the car as you saw, so I can just literally get changed, grab my handbag and go. So I'm ready to go. So I like to be nice and prepared. But to be fair, like I said yesterday, most of the time during my home standbys I just sleep, which is really bad. I mean, it's good that I'm going to be well rested if I do get called, but if I don't, I end up not really being able to sleep at night. So I'm going to try and stay awake as much as possible today, maybe like play some games or something, or even try to start editing this video and get up to date with it. I just try and do stuff like that. But I am probably waiting for a separate phone call today, which is another added thing to my anxiety of if that phone rings, I'll jump either way because it'll either be work or the people I'm expecting to call me. So we'll see, but I'll keep you updated as I did yesterday. I'll be able to keep you more frequently updated today and over the next few days if I'm not called. And obviously as the days progress, as we get closer to the end of my block, the chances of being called are less and less, and more so for a shorter duty than a trip. But we'll see. I will quickly add in, if you're wondering, so the call out minimum time for home standby is 2 hours, which is why I said an hour and 25 is a little bit tight, but it's doable. But the only 2 times that I've ever been called from home standby, I've been given more than 2 hours, and they always try to give you more. So that's why I stay at home, because it's often the case that they do give you more than the minimum time. But I have seen instances from other people where they literally have given them 2 hours dead on, so you've got to be prepared. This little brat won't leave me alone, will you? You're so dramatic. If I don't stroke him or cuddle him or kiss him, he just gets really mad. He's just really, really tense. Started biting me because I wasn't giving him affection. But I am 2 hours in now to my standby. Still no call. Checked my roster. Still nothing on the roster. In fact, I'm 2.5 hours in actually, which we're getting there. The time definitely goes a whole lot quicker on home standby, which is so much better. But it just means you have a longer day. It's 8 hours today, so it's 10 till 6, and the same tomorrow, and it's 8 till 4 on Saturday. So it gets better and better. The earlier the better for me, really, because I've done it before when 6 AM starts. I've just got ready and got back into bed. Love it. And then I don't end up waking up till about 11, and then I only have like 3 hours left. But today I can't do that because 10 till 6 has always been the worst shift. Whenever I worked at Mcdonald's, when I worked in the call centre at my last job, 10 till 6 was not the one. Home standbys are the perfect opportunity to get stuff done that you really have been putting off doing, like washing. I'm now halfway through, so it's just after 2. I'm really bored. I didn't expect this to kind of drag as much as it is, and I kind of want to go to the gym. I haven't had that thought for a long time. Not really had the motivation to go, but the hot weather I think is helping me be a little bit more motivated anyway. I don't know, I don't want to risk going to the gym while I'm on standby. That's a little bit too risky. So hopefully I survive it, and hopefully I can go at 6. When it of course has to get busier because everyone's finishing work. 1. hour to go. Oh my god, I've never been so bored in my life. That's the trouble. I'm just totally restricted to my house. Can't really go out shopping. No, that would be too much anxiety for me. Can't really go out and do anything. Although, I have been checking my roster throughout the day just to see if anything popped up. And I have been blessed with a lovely duty for next week. You can hear the sarcasm in my voice. So I was supposed to be going to Manchester for the night again, was on our next weekend. That got taken off me, and they've given me a Heraklion there and back. So that's a Corfu there and back, and then a Heraklion there and back after one another. I have no words. Petrol is so expensive. I was trying not to spend money, but work makes me spend money. Let's get this hair out. So now I've only got 2 more days of standby left, which means any long haul trip is out the question. I can only do short haul from now on. So they could call me for a night stop. They could call me for 2 there and back. So that's the other option. But we'll see. With short haul, they do tend to know quite well in advance when they need people. It's only really when people call in sick or are late and things like that, and that's what airport standby is for. So hopefully that's the case. I'd rather just finish off the week with no call. That would be ideal, but we'll see what tomorrow and what Saturday brings. Right, day 3. Let's get this done. Although I have just seen an update that there has been a crash on the M1, which isn't anywhere near me, but obviously people who work for my airline live up that way and travel down through the M1. So I'm hoping that doesn't affect my chances of getting called. I'm at that point now where I'm over halfway and I just want to stay here. But again, even when we know this information, there's no way to tell whether we will get called. I still have another 12 minutes until my standby starts, but I will do exactly the same as yesterday, keep you updated, and we'll see how today goes. You will start to notice that the more my standby week goes on, the less makeup I wear. Today I opted for no mascara and no base, it's just concealer, only because it's just uncomfortable, it's hot, and if I want to have a nap, it's uncomfortable, which I tried to do yesterday, and when I had mascara on, it was just really uncomfortable. I don't know how I do it on my breaks sometimes when I'm at work, but I guess if I'm that tired, I'm going to sleep. But I'm just trying to sleep now just for the sake of passing time. It's definitely comfort over looks today. That is the sound of me editing my vlog. I am now halfway through day 3. We're getting there slowly, guys. It's taking time, but we're getting there. And as you just heard, I am editing this particular vlog. I'm trying to get up to date with everything, just as my busy few weeks start approaching, like my Manchester visit and also my San Francisco visit with Vic as well. All of these things are coming around very fast, and they always do. But I'm just going to carry on editing. That's not fun for you to watch, so I'm just going to get it done. And I really don't know what else to do for the rest of the day. I really don't know. I have actually started watching this standby block, Selling Sunset. So I watched a few episodes a few years ago maybe, and I just couldn't really get into it. But it's reality TV, it's my kind of thing, and I was just wondering why I wasn't getting into it. And I just tried a few more episodes just to see if I could get on with it, and it's just such an easy watch. And I've just been watching that over my standby block, so I'm just going to carry on watching that maybe. I know I was going to try and sit outside in the sun, and I really wanted to make the most of it, but it's so hot, too hot to be honest with you. So I think I'm just going to stay inside where my fan has been on for the last 3 days. Not good for the electric bill, but needs must. I have decided to relocate outside because I haven't made the most of this weather at all while it's been around. It doesn't feel too bad, to be fair, now I'm outside. But after a little while, I know I'm going to get a little bit irritated because I do in the sun. It just makes me really exhausted. I need to try and get a thumbnail at some point. There we go, that's how I get my thumbnails, if you were wondering. I look like a right moron. Now, because I've actually got to be an adult today and cook my own food, I'm going to have a look through the freezer, see what I've got for my dinner. Try and build up a bit of an appetite. Does anyone else's parents pack their freezer full because they get worried that just something's going to happen? I've just pulled some salmon out of the freezer. It's one of the only things I can definitely cook confidently that's a bit of protein. I really need to start getting into the swing of cooking and just gain a bit of confidence in the kitchen. And we're getting there, I think. When I move out one day, that's when I'll really have to. Come here. You've got cobwebs all over you. Yeah, you do. Because Mum's away as well, I've got a little depressed dog on my hands. This is Nellie. This is one of the other cats you very rarely see because she was obsessed with my sister. But because no one's home, she's actually taking a bit of a liking to me. Well, I've just had to change because if you own a pug, you know what their anal glands are like. They don't release their anal glands on their own when they poo, so they just do it randomly when they get overexcited or it gets too full. And we've just had a moment of overexcitement when the postman knocked on the door. I picked Lulu up so she didn't attack the postman, and then, yeah, that happened. And it absolutely reeks. If you own a pug, you know. So I'm gonna get that into the wash ASAP because but like I just said, the postman just came and they delivered an exciting parcel. Thought I'd treat myself. I know I said don't spend money, but this particular items, multiple, are always out of stock. And I like, well, one of them I like in my routine, and the second one I've never tried before, but it's viral on TikTok, all of that jazz. Never been able to get hold of it until now, and I got it in my basket and paid for it as soon as they came back into stock. So I don't think that's a bad reason to make an order. So I had to get some more of my Beauty Works 10-in-1 Miracle Spray. I love this stuff so much, you don't even realise. It really just helps. Just spray that before you dry your hair, so when it's damp or wet. And it's a really good heat protectant, and it does so much to your hair in terms of hair care. I'll give you some examples actually. So it detangles, it smells really good as well, eliminates frizz, restores shine, replenishes oils, conditions, repairs dry and damaged hair. It does so much, and I just totally recommend if you're going to add any product to your routine, make it this one. Not an ad, by the way, I just love this, and I've been using this for like 2 years now, I think. And I think they had a really good deal on this. I think this was about £8. It's definitely about £8 on TikTok shop anyway. This second product I am so excited for, you don't even realise. I have seen this all over TikTok and I've been jealous of every single person that has had it. I've not used it myself before, but I've just seen the results and I want to try it myself, especially with my type of skin. So it's the Trigwell Cosmetics Velvet Powder Puff, and you get 2 in here actually. I didn't realise you get 2, so I can have one at home and one in my travel bag, which is fabulous. Love the packaging. Oh my god, it's holographic, and I absolutely love anything holographic. If I can make it holographic, it's gonna be holographic. So I love this. It's a shame that it's actually the packaging and the product itself isn't that colour. You get 2 inside. They're so soft. They're a lot softer than I thought they'd be. Maybe I'll give one of these a test tomorrow morning when I do my makeup for my very final standby. It's going to be an early one though. It's going to be like 8 AM, but at least it gives me a reason to be excited to wake up tomorrow. 1 hour to go. Kind of over this now. It's 5 minutes to go and I'm taking my makeup off early. It's happening. I haven't got much on today, so micellar water it is. I may take my makeup off last a whole 2 minutes. Just reapplying my SPF because I will be going out shortly to the shop. Well, I've got 2 minutes to go. Sorry, a minute to go now. I'm just gonna do it. If they call me within that time, Life is against me. Day 4 of 4 and I could not be happier that it is the last day. I'm actually so exhausted because last night was a terrible night to sleep. It was really hot, like so hot. I cannot remember the last time I ever felt it that hot at night. It tends to cool down at night, but last night it really didn't. Even with the fan on, we've had that on all week and it's just not really done anything, especially last night. In addition to the heat, because my mum's away, Lulu slept with us in bed, which I don't normally like to do because there's not much room in my bed, especially when there's me, Vic and Lulu. It's just really, really tight for space. And Lulu loves her space, and I'm talking like she likes the whole side of the bed, don't you? So unfortunately, because of that, we didn't have much room in addition to the heat. And for some reason at 5 AM, I just woke up like suddenly, like wide awake. There was no going back to sleep, and I knew that. Even though I felt tired still, I just could not go back to sleep. I was tossing and turning, didn't go on my phone, so that didn't wake me up. So I just kind of sat there in bed, staring at the ceiling until 6:45 this morning when I had to start getting ready. Vic started work at 8, my standby started at 8, so all in all the timings worked out perfectly. But I'm just exhausted, so I'm just made myself some breakfast. I've made some crumpets, bought myself some crumpets yesterday in Lidl, also some OJ, because OJ early in the morning I've got to have a cup of tea when I first wake up, but I do love a cold orange juice in the summer early morning. The very few times I am up early in the morning anyway. So I think I'm going to eat this, drink this, eat that, and then probably go back to sleep because I could really do with it. I also think just after I woke up, Lulu was intensely dreaming and she threw herself off my bed, didn't you? I felt so bad for her because she literally fell and landed on her back and slammed against my wardrobe. Bless her. So I also couldn't sleep because I was worried about her too, but she seems okay. But she was so hot last night as well, I had to put her cooler coat on. This is really good, by the way. Literally, you just soak it under the tap, squeeze it out, get the worst of the water out, and then it just stays cool for a good few hours. And you don't really like it, but it helps you stay cool. Guys, look at that time. I slept for half my standby. Result, really. I did wake up maybe, I think it was 10 o'clock when Lulu was fidgeting. Because bless her, it's really hot today. I thought it was hot yesterday, but it was so hot today. I've got her cooler coat all topped up. I've done that a few times this morning, but all she wants to do is go sit outside in the garden. I keep telling her, just stay in the bloody shade or come indoors. Either way, you're gonna be hot, because indoors today, for some reason, I just cannot get it cool. Yesterday, everything I was doing, keeping the curtains closed, I've only got it slightly open because Lulu's out there having a wee. But yeah, apart from that, I've done everything as I've normally done, and it's still so hot. This little one's having a hell of a time, aren't you, Fluffball? Yeah. I do want to give a little review on my Trigwell powder puff. I did use it this morning. I'm sorry I didn't show you while I was using it. It was just Vic was asleep in the background, and I didn't want to film him while he's sleeping in the background of me doing my makeup. So I want to give you a little rundown now, because I could do with a little top up of powder. I don't know if you can see that I am a little bit shiny. I'm trying to set up some sort of light here so you can see it a bit better. But yeah, I literally used this morning the Fit Me powder and my powder puff. Popped a little bit on the end and just pressed it into my under eye, and it fits so well in that area. You can see it's designed for that. I don't know if you can see, that's literally made my pores invisible. It's just so smooth, almost airbrushed. looks incredible just from a powder puff. I didn't think it would be as good as it is. It's one of those where you think you just know you're going to like it because it's a trend, but I have to say this thing is as incredible as everyone has said it is. Like, I literally look, airbrushed. Just had some pasta for my lunch, but geez, I am walking like I have broken my legs. Day 2 after going to the gym always hits me worse than day 1 after the gym. It's my inner legs that have got me. Doing the hip and thigh abduction, oh my God. Oh, I'm in so much pain, and it's 2 days till Manchester, which will be a lot of walking, and I don't need this. Call me crazy. This is definitely not the weather for this, but I'm gonna have a bath. I have baths at the strangest times, and now is one of those times. I think my legs will benefit from a bath right now. I'm not gonna do a really piping hot bath like I normally do, but I just need to soak my muscles in somewhat of warm water just to help soothe them, because they're getting so stiff and sore as the day goes on. It's not good. We also live in a 3-story house, so the top floor is always the warmest. It's unbearable, really. But our main bathroom actually has no windows, so it's kind of cooler in here. And I also find that with my bathroom downstairs, because it has no windows, it's one of the coolest rooms in the house. I've actually only got an hour and a half left of my standby week, so this is looking promising. I probably shouldn't be leaving my phones because I know what's going to happen, but yeah, it's quite a nice way to finish off the week with a nice relaxing bath with some really nice muscle soak bubble bath in there too. Nelly actually quite likes to sit in the sink when we have a bath. She's making a fuss now, but she doesn't realise she's in for a treat. I've literally got 15 minutes until my standby ends. In fact, close to 10 now. If I want to make time go by extremely quickly, a bath is always the answer. I can sit in a bath for like 2-3 hours at a time, like until I'm a prune. A lot of people can't do that, but I really can, even when it goes cold. I am tempted to go into our local town and just have a little mooch around Superdrug. I need to get a few bits anyway, and plus drugstore makeup at the moment is, I need to go and have a look. So that might be my plan for after standby as a little treat. Well, I survived the standby block. Doesn't happen very often, but for the first time in a very long time, I did it. And I'm very relieved, because it does actually mean that all in all, for my last trip to when I next go to work, I'm gonna have like almost 2 weeks off work, which is actually really nice, especially when the weather's like this. But thank you for joining me on my little standby week. I'm gonna get my bags out my car now, and I will see you in my next vlog.